And we are live. Hello. We are Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Delta Green tonight. If you're in the channel, thank you for joining us. If you're watching this later on YouTube, thank you for watching it there. We really appreciate that. There's been some nice warm reception to that over on YouTube, and thank you for the nice comments. Holy crap, there's a Chuck. Well, I feel honored. Thank you, Chuck, for showing up. We're on episode 3 of our Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. No one's gone insane yet, other than me prepping for it because it's absolutely insane. But we'll get into all that nonsense in a minute. Let me do some brief and quick plugs for stuff that we're doing over the next coming days. So in addition to the Delta Green game, we have 2 other ongoing games. Every other Monday, we kind of switch them off on Mondays. So this coming Monday on our channel, we play Alien. It's an ongoing Alien campaign. You can hop back in. You can hop in whenever you want. That's at 9 Central. And then on the opposite Mondays, we're playing Things from the Flood. So we have three games. You can catch all that kind of stuff up over on our YouTube channel as well. And you can catch me and Melissa and Ashley on a variety of other places. Ashley, are you playing this weekend? Are you playing in that?
I am. We're going to be playing some Umerica on Goodman Games Official.
Yeah. So run by that. Not run by Chuck. That's actually going to be run by Bert, right? Steam Still Murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chuck actually gets to play in this one.
Awesome. So that's tomorrow night, 9 Central, Goodman Games Official Twitch channel. You can catch Ashley playing some post-apocalyptic Umerica game stuff, right?
I may or may not be another psychopathic child.
Mm-hmm. I mean, play to what you know. That's
right?
kind of what it is.
I got a niche.
All right. So let's dive in. We're playing Delta Green. This is episode 3, Impossible Landscapes. We're still in chapter 1, which is totally fine. And what I'm gonna ask everyone to do as they're introducing their characters, I want you guys to, as you're introducing your characters, tell me 2 things. Tell me one thing. Just tell me your motivation. Give me a motivation you have, because in Delta Green you have these different motivations that sort of explain why your character does what they're doing. Right? They're like getting involved in the unnatural. They're putting themselves on the front lines of this kind of crazy forces out there in the universe. So what's a motivation you have, and how have you played towards that so far? So we're gonna go in order by the overlay, and it's gonna be Ashley. So Ashley, who are you, and what's a motivation that you have?
I am playing Agent Chelsea Smith, and one of my motivations is to protect innocents from unwelcome truths. We haven't gotten too into it, but Chelsea kind of got into Delta Green because she was once an innocent that was protected by some unwelcome truth.
Okay, very nice, nice. And you also, where do you work again? Where does Agent Chelsea? Where does she come from? What's her strengths?
I am an intelligence analysis from the ITACG, so just like research. I didn't think to have that
stuff.
Yes, I'm the talker of the group. Okay. I'm like
the face. Yeah.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to have that. Speaking of faces, Long, you got a face. So tell us about your character.
Yeah. I played Agent Vessel. He's FBI, the hostage rescue team. He's the strength brute guy of the team here. And one of my motivations is revenge against the unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
So something in the past, I guess, tripped up one of my missions, and now I'm looking to get back at it.
Right on. And maybe we'll dive into that at some point. That's the thing. Like, we might float into some of your backstories and stuff as it becomes relevant. We'll see if it becomes relevant. It might not. Bottom row, Derek, you too have a face. Talk.
Yes. So I'm Agent Album. I'm employed by NASA. I work in the Goddard Space Flight Center, and my job there is just kind of measuring and investigating the cosmic microwave background radiation, early beginnings of the universe, fun stuff. One of my motivations is, I have many motivations that fit this current investigation that we're doing, but with the tenacity that I've been looking into, like the epoxy and cataloging all of the things that we found in this apartment, investigation is one of my big motivations. Just trying to figure out what the hell is going on and why epoxy. Like, it just doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah. It's actually pretty interesting because you of all the agents have been maintaining the FBI cover better than anybody.
Yes,
you've been doing the job that all of you were tasked with doing. Again, it's just your cover. It's not really what you're supposed to do. All of you are doing what you're supposed to do, but you're specifically keeping the cover.
Beautifully done. There's pages upon pages. It would bore anybody to sleep, so we can read that later.
So we'll just skip over that. So that's going to be Derek's job tonight. So we'll let him go. Melissa, who are you?
Yes. Melissa. I am playing Agent Fawn. She
Oh,
works
no.
with the National Park Service. So she's trained in archaeology. She joined kind of a new program. It's the American Battlefield Preservation Project. So that's what she does. One of my motivations is that it's never letting a bond down. So the bond is my parents. That was one of the motivations that I rolled. I feel like I already did that. I broke their hearts because I broke off an engagement. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to still be, the good daughter, but I'm not the one that's married with kids. So
Yeah.
I
Jeff is
try.
absolutely going to torture you in your bonds.
So speaking of Melissa and Melissa being a cheater, Melissa, she tried to cheat. Did you know this? Did you guys know this?
I have a disorder that I
Was it
did,
the whistling? The
slipped my
whistling
mind.
of
No. Melissa also her character also has a disorder. That disorder is that she has like a sleep disorder, which means
Yep.
that whenever she tries to sleep, she has to roll a test to see if she gets a good night's sleep, all that kind of stuff. And if she doesn't, she can't get sleep and she can't she's basically crap the next day. She gets probably
Can't regain willpower.
yeah, she can't regain willpower in handler's discretion. She might have penalties on checks and stuff like that. And of course I would do that. So we retroactively rolled it off air. She did pass, so we're okay. But from now on, everyone needs to make sure because Melissa likes to cheat. So yeah, she doesn't
This
cheat
is
at just board games,
nasty-
Chuck. It's
nasty
also
rumor.
it's
Nasty
also
rumor.
tabletop.
I'm just forgetful.
Yep. Okay,
forget to sleep. It happens.
so let's dive in then. The basic mission that you're on is 1995. Don't forget that. It's 1995. You all are in New York City. You all are activated. You met with your contact, your handler for this particular operation. Operation Alice is its name. Agent Marcus. You met him in Washington Square Park, excuse me, in near Greenwich Village, and in NYU. And it was a Thursday that you met him. It's only been a day, and you were tasked with going over to the McAllister building because in the McAllister building there is a missing person. There is Abigail Wright, who is a 26-year-old artist who has been missing since June, and that in itself wasn't that mysterious, nor was it that mysterious when her credit card was used a couple states away in Maryland. What actually signaled Delta Green getting involved was that a symbol was found in her apartment that is associated with demonology and the occult. And that was flagged by a friendly in an FBI office in New York, and they got Delta Green involved. Your specific cover is to go into the McAllister building and to go into Abigail Wright's apartment, which is like a hoarder's paradise. There is just so much stuff that has been glued and stuck to different places around the apartment that your job, according to the FBI as consultants, is to catalog all of it, to go through all of it. Now, your real job as Delta Green agents is to try to uncover what the hell's going on, and is there anything unnatural behind her disappearance, behind what's going on, and if there is, stop it by whatever means necessary, right? So that's kind of the overall gist. Now, last session, all of you kind of split up and went in different directions. So we'll start with the first two, the two at the top. So Agent Chelsea and Vessel, both of you spent most of last session doing some interrogation of the different tenants, her neighbors within the McAllister building. Remember, the McAllister building is basically a 3-story building with a basement as well. And there are 4 other tenants in addition to Abigail Wright, and then a bunch of empty apartments. So what did the two of you learn during your interrogations last time?
Yeah, we spoke to most of the tenants, and it seems to be some sort of art or creative workplace for them. They're doing their creative minds and whatnot, and they all think
Co-op.
this T. Samuel guy is pretty nice, but
T.
the
Manuel.
one that-
T. Manuel, yeah.
he's got that bug that we found still.
Yeah.
Yet to
First night, you
confront.
guys found a bug that was poking up underneath the door of Abigail Wright's apartment, and then there was a wire that went back to T. Manuel's apartment, which is one of the reasons you went and talked to them first.
Yeah, so we did set up a search warrant to see if we do it peacefully instead of barging in. So we'll see how that goes.
You talked
And
with
then-
Detective Giordanda to try to see if they could get a search warrant to get into his apartment.
Also, in one of the older man's rooms, he was the book writer.
Roger
We-
Caroon.
Yeah, apparently he had like hair all around to like detect if things were being opened or not.
Yeah, doors, windows, etc.
As well as when I checked the fridge out, apparently the dates on like the cartons and food were way past expiration, but they seemed fine.
Yeah. Yeah, they all had expiration dates back in March, and it is August, so they've like 5 months old food, but it all looked fine. You even ate a sandwich.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
We discovered a couple different contacts. Cynthia LaChance, she's the art life contact, as well as Castaigne, he's the night manager. For some reason, nobody can really remember what he looks like or what exact room he lives in. They just know he lives upstairs. And then Mike Sievers is Lewis Post's agent.
Comic book artist.
Yep. He had I didn't make a note. I'm pretty sure Bessel saw this, but he had a large Baroque style mirror under his bed.
That's correct.
And then T. Manuel walks around without shoes. And there was one point in time where we saw bare feet walking up the stairs. So it was probably T. Manuel. And yeah, just overall, it's weird. Art Life contacted them.
Okay.
And we're really interested in the night manager because there wasn't one listed in like our notes of like any property management, but then everybody's talking about this night manager that they've had contact with.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, the name Cynthia LaChance and Art Life, that shows up in the official documents that you have in your police files and that you got from Agent Marcus, but the name Castaigne doesn't show up.
Yes.
You also had the name. You had one other. So you had two other. There was two other people. There was actually one other person because you already mentioned Mike Sievers. There's also Carmen Wagner, who was Roger Caroon's editor, the novelist who was the science fiction author as well. Okay, bottom row. Derek, you were doing your job. Well, the cover. What did you discover while you were in the apartment last time?
The most I guess like eye-catching thing that I saw was I kept hearing things, felt like I was being watched, and in one of the rooms there's just a carton, or I don't know if there was a carton, but there was spilled orange juice everywhere. And there must have been a carton though, because it also had that date of March 23rd. So that is like the last note that I had made. The rest of the stuff's kind of meta stuff that I had learned. So just in the and I wanted to ask, in the cataloging of things, have we come across any information or like this date of March 23rd, like for Agent Album? He's kind of like, is this a significant date? Like for the food being all expired on that? So
there wasn't a specific date of
done.
March 23rd. Like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you
it was
came
just
across anything.
the dates were from March. The thing that you came across last time was you found some napkins with the GB,
right.
like some sort of like golden GBR insignia, and they were pictures of like mechanical devices with labels that didn't have that. There were different language that you didn't speak. So
Right.
then there was also the bathtub as well. So do you remember the bathtub at the end? Melissa will. Don't worry.
I don't remember.
Melissa, you went.
Remember the bathtub? We were talking about it earlier.
Melissa,
The overflowing bathtub.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Melissa, you went to a gallery. What did you find out there?
So I went to the Mercury Gallery where she had her show about a year ago. It was under construction. They were preparing for a new show. So there were a lot of like workers, bags of plaster, et cetera, et cetera. The woman, Amber Odomescu, was not particularly friendly to kind of the folks that were working. I was able to get in her office and kind of have a chat with her about the show that happened. She had, kind of generally good things to say. She'd already talked to the police. She'd already talked to family about, the missing woman. When she was out, I did some poking around her office. She has a file for T. Manuel that had a note on it that said up and comer ? Also a file on Wright with some contact information. When she came back, she brought me photocopies of pictures of the pieces that had been on display during the show and some buyer information. And then as I was leaving, I had a bit of a fun experience walking down the hallway. And then suddenly I thought I wasn't walking down the hallway, that like it was like epoxy or something on the floor. And I was kind of stuck and couldn't really move. And, because of the construction, there were kind of hanging plastic. But then it wasn't hanging plastic anymore. It was like gauze that was hanging. And on the other side of the strips of gauze, there was this kind of small figure kind of jerkily kind of dancing around. There's a ice cream truck music happening in the background. And then the figure kind of reached through the gauze. But then it wasn't, it was one of the work guys, and I'm just crouching in a hallway.
And that's where we start. So you're there. There is a heavy set looking construction worker. He's got a hard hat underneath his armpit. He looks to be going for the bathroom, which you are right next to. Your feet are fine. What do you do?
Hi. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here.
Can I get past you? You got the door to the shit is right there.
Yeah. And so I'll just sort of scooch along the wall so that he can get to the door, but I'm still shaken a bit.
Okay. And do you leave?
I'm going to take a few deep breaths. So I'm kind of like leaning against the wall a bit, and so I'm just kind of gonna just take a few slow breaths. Going to kind of touch the plastic that's hanging, just sort of kind of ground myself on the physical sensation of like, yep, that's plastic, that's not gauze.
Yeah.
Okay. And then kind of my heart rate will kind of slow a little bit. And then was he coming from the way that I need to go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know that like right out there is the main floor where a lot of the work was being done when you first came in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, once I kind of settle my breathing back down again, and I'll just look around to see if anyone else observed me and my...
No, it's a little hallway that you're in first. Remember, like there was kind of a circuitous path, and you had to go upstairs to get to the office, and you're just kind of finding your way back without the gallery owner's assistance.
Okay. I'll make sure that I'm gone before he comes back out of the bathroom.
Okay, yeah, and you pass out. You pass through, no problem, and you get out onto the street. The sounds of like the construction work begin to fade as the door closes behind you. It is at this point middle of the afternoon, probably 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, somewhere around there. There's still probably about 3 to 4 hours worth of light left in the day. Where you got your probably a rental car nearby, no problem.
Yeah, my plan for the afternoon was to go back and help out with the apartment.
Okay.
So I'll get in my car and go back.
Okay. Back in the apartment. So, Album, you're just basically cataloging stuff right now. So I'm going to go over then to Chelsea and Vessel. You finished interviewing 3 of the tenants. There's a 4th tenant, Michelle Van Fitz. She's also the one that Giordanda had said, the detective, the NYPD detective, was a little cranky towards, especially she didn't really like cops too much. But she's the only other person. I think you finished up. The last interview you had was with Lewis Post, the younger, kind of a little socially awkward but fairly nice guy. But he was the one that had the ink on his fingers and he had the comic book and stuff like that. You know that the apartment for Michelle Van Fitz is on the same floor as his, which is the first floor, which is technically the one floor up. This is ground, first, second. And then you know that all of the floors, all of the apartments above you are said to be empty. So what did the 2 of you want to do?
Did you just want to finish up our
Yeah, but I think we know that she's a bit harder against the police or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that she's
Like
just
that.
a little bit of a crank.
So we might want to come in with the guys, sort of.
Oh, I mean, we could, or we could just be mean.
Yeah, if she's the grouchy old lady, we can be grouchy back.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go in, knock on the door. Before that, what do our notes tell us about her?
You've got that she is apparently a writer, but more of a literary writer as opposed to like she's like the other guy. Roger Croon's a science fiction author, more of like a pop pulpy guy.
Yeah.
You've got some basic stuff. Born in Cleveland, Ohio. Attended NYU on a partial scholarship. Worked at Chase Manhattan for a while to put herself through college, apparently. Apparently she's a poet. And looks like she is, was it like 26 or so? Or no, excuse me, 28. She was born in 67. Yeah, she was born May 6, 1967, so she's 28.
Okie dokie. Chelsea's gonna go right up to that door, knock on it.
Okay. So you knock on the door. And thank you, When Can We Play? Yeah, I worked a bit on the overlay. I get a little obsessive with the overlay sometimes. I gotta stop. It's a problem. But
They look good.
I had fun with it. Okay, so you knock on the door. You hear like the mumbling of like I'll say long. Your guy, Vessel, he hears kind of like, what is you hear freaking bullshit knocking on my, as it like the door opens up and you see a fairly squat Caucasian woman. She's got this frown on. You can see that she has like all of her clothes are like hemp. She has like a hemp, vest and pants, and she's got these thick glasses. You can see that she's got kind of an angry looking face on. I'll go ahead and give you a little picture of her. See if this shows up. So that's Michelle Van Fitz.
Oh, she looks like a Karen.
Doesn't she? That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking she's totally a Karen. Okay, so you so she opens the door and she just looks and she puts her hands on her hips kind of, and she like tilts them to, can I help you?
Miss Van Fitz, we're with the FBI. I'm here to discuss with you about your neighbor.
Badges, please.
And I've already got it out and I show it to her.
Do you think that's supposed to impress me?
No, it's just to clarify that I'm with the FBI.
Okay. Good for you. I'm not. What about my neighbor?
When was the last time you've seen her?
Which one?
Miss
I
Abigail?
have multiple neighbors. Maybe you should learn how to do your job. Miss
Abigail?
Sorry, I don't
Right?
know anyone named Miss Abigail.
Oh, God. You, Jeff, you're reminding me of work too much, and I hate it. Just, did you see my soul wanting to leave my body? You do this too well.
Aaron says to shoot her. Just shoot her. Pull the gun out. And so she starts to close the door. She's like, I don't know. We don't have anyone named Miss Abigail. Starts to close the door.
I'll stop the door
How?
with my hand.
Oh, you're going to get rough now? Is that what you're going to do? You think you can just manhandle me and my property? Is that what's going on here? You want to just kick the door down, huh? I guess I don't have any civil rights.
Miss Van Fitz, do you mind having a seat and we can come inside and talk with you?
I do
Or
mind.
would you like to come stand in the hallway with us?
I'm going to stand right here, thank you very much. If you've
Sure,
got questions,
that's
you can ask them. You've
fantastic.
got 30 seconds. Let's go.
When was the last time you've seen Miss Abigail Wright?
Couple months back, probably.
Do you remember what she was acting like? What you were doing?
I don't really talk to her too much. Don't really care about her or any of the other people here. No, I was...
Can you verify what you were doing at the time she went? The last time you've seen her?
The last time I saw her, I was checking my mail. Is it a crime to check my mail?
No, but your neighbor is missing, so we are trying to do our best to find her.
I've heard. I've seen the papers. I've heard the stories.
Have you witnessed anything weird with your night manager, Mr. Kinstain?
Canstain? Sorry, I don't know who Canstain is.
Who-
Is she
Check.
new? She looks over towards Vessel. Is she new?
Yeah, new hire.
Embarrassing. This is what the FBI's come to, huh? The Federal Bureau of Investigations, huh? Wow. Wow. Any
I don't
other
wanna talk to her
questions?
anymore.
I have stuff to do here.
I'm not having fun. This is reminding me of work. I hate it. Like, my soul has already left my body. Like, this is too similar to retail death. I can't. Ooh.
Sorry. My notes to myself was just play her like she's the worst. Got it.
Well, yeah,
That's all
hit
I
it on the
got.
neck.
Whatever they want, just be mean and say no. No, she just says, like, I didn't really know her that well. I saw her in the halls. That's it. That's all I know. Okay? Anything else?
No, here's my card.
No, I don't need that.
And I proceed to just toss it in front of her. If you hear of anything that you need to remind me of that you suddenly remember, then perhaps you should give me a call.
So she closed the door in a huff and it slams. And then you see a second later, the card slides back out into the hallway underneath the door.
And I'm just going to like stick it up in the side next to her thing.
Okay.
Next to the door handle.
Fair enough. Everyone wants you to kill her. Okay.
Dude, it's on my list of things. You might give me something to do I've never gotten to do before in real life, and that's kill someone. She'll be on my list.
That was very convincing. I've never done this in real life, like, which is kill somebody. With alert, their Vessel, I would say you got a quick peek into her apartment before she slammed the door. Bunch of bookshelves, just tons of bookshelves. Look like she's just got tons and tons of books. Didn't really get a chance to see any of them up close, obviously, but yeah. But
Okay.
that's all that really kind of stood out to you, just from a quick glance. Okay.
Did you see when we play Stay Calm with his gun?
There are black slates where she could just disappear. That's true. That's good. You guys you might know a few. Okay. So what do you want to do? So do you want to, what do you want to do now? The two of you.
Yeah, it doesn't seem she's going to be much help. Might as well investigate the last floor above.
Okay. So yeah, you go up to the third floor, or floor number 2. Again, ground. I'm going to have to do this every time. I have to remind myself. Ground first, second.
Yeah.
So you're on the uppermost
Yeah.
floor. These are all empty rooms. You go up to each one of them, knock on the door. They don't open. Try to open them up. They're locked.
Can I try again to lockpick?
Sure. What's your... Yeah, that's fine.
Because my ghost hunting crew.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. You and your ghost hunting crew. The good old days. Jeez. Damn. You know what they need, Aaron? They need the Marquis and Bonte to come up here and get this interrogation going. That's how you do it. They didn't bring enough
Can I
Bloody Marys.
waterboard her?
I mean, you could. You can do whatever you want. Are
I'll
you
think about
rolling
it.
again?
Yes. What am I rolling?
I'll say you're not under. Don't worry, you're fine. You can do it. You pop one open. You go inside, and you see a relatively the same layout as you've seen now, because you've been in 3 apartments now. You were in Lewis Post's apartments, Roger Caroon's apartment, and you've been in Abigail's apartment. And the layout is roughly the same. There's a small little kitchen area. There is like there's a bathroom area, and then there's like a couple other empty rooms. There doesn't look like there's much in here in any of them. But you can see some really generic furniture is left here, like a super generic like nightstand and a super generic dresser. You kind of go through them briefly. Nothing in here really stands out now. You look around and yeah, it's empty. Doesn't look like it's been lived in for some time.
Okay. There's like nothing in the fridge or anything.
No, the fridge is. I mean, the fridge when you go over to it is actually it's plugged in and it has electricity, but there's nothing inside.
Okay. I'm gonna continue doing this with each of the
Okay. So
Doors.
you do this with each one of the floors, and this is going to take a little time. But you do this with each one of the floors. The two of you kind of go up and down the second floor, and you go in and out, and it's sort of the same thing every single time. The layout's slightly different. The furniture might be slightly different. A lot of it looks to have been like reclaimed or like refurnished type like furniture, like nothing like fancy or anything like that, but nothing to suggest that anyone's lived here for some time.
So there is absolutely no sign of the night manager. That's weird.
Go ahead and get rid of the picture of Karen really quick,
Thanks.
so we all don't have to watch that. Okay. All right. So at this point, because I want Derek to be able to play, we'll say the two of you return and check in on Abigail, right? If that's okay.
Yeah, that's where I was planning on going back to.
Okay, so you head back down, and when you get down there, you can see that Album is meticulously breaking down, bagging, logging all of these. And he's made a lot of progress. There's a lot of little things that you found, Album. Some of them seemed mundane. Again, you're looking for purposeful things, and there was just that one piece of evidence that caught your eye.
Right, the napkin.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and share that if you want.
As soon as Chelsea and what's Long's character's name again?
Vessel.
Vessel, yeah. As soon as they walk in, he'll like kind of spin around like mid whatever the hell he's writing down and just say, "You ever feel like you're being watched all the time?" And just continues to like scribble.
No, can't say I do.
I'm pretty sure that's not normal.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I've been in here cataloging everything. I found a weird napkin, tried not to wipe my forehead with it, but like something's watching me.
Did you smoke weed? Does that make you paranoid?
Do I look like I work for NASA? They have standards. They don't
You probably
allow
need something to cool
delinquents.
down sometimes. I
go
work
to
for
space.
the FBI.
I go to space for a living. I don't need to.
You've been to
inject my-
space.
No. No, I didn't make the astronaut program. I just scanned the satellites. Anyway, someone spilled orange juice in the other room. It doesn't make any sense. The carton says that it expired in March, but here we are several months later. I don't understand what's going on. Something's watching me. I've got all this stuff cataloged as if it matters. What have you guys found out? This place is driving me crazy.
Do you show me the napkin?
Yes, I do.
Do I recognize any of the languages written on it, Jeff?
What languages do you speak? Like, what do you have
I
skill in?
speak French, Greek, and Latin.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look. I'll say this. Roll a. You can roll a Latin plus 20 to see if you can identify the language. But you do not.
46. Yeah, I just failed by 3.
Yeah. You're not entirely sure. Might be Spanish. Might not. You're not
Got it.
not entirely sure.
And then I'll just mention, maybe we'll have Fawn check it out when she gets back.
Yeah, this looks like it'd be up her alley. It looks steampunk, like that's archaeology, right? That's what they look at, steampunk stuff.
No. Anyways, we were investigating and speaking to all of the residents. It's a little weird. Vessel, you noticed that the fridges, the stuff, also in the other apartments.
Yeah,
It was
something strange with the food
expired.
as well.
It's like they haven't left their apartments since March.
Did you ask them if they left the apartments since March?
I asked one of them, they don't even know what the date is.
Yeah. And they don't really have to commute for work. They work from home.
Right. That's concerning. Are we stuck in a... Is this like a time loop that we're stuck in this building? Because we leave. We have a perception of time outside of this building, but apparently that's... I don't... And like, album will pull out like a... He's like... throws down the cataloging binder or whatever he's writing in, and I'll kind of pull out like a little pocket-sized notebook and kind of like jot some stuff to himself.
Mm-hmm. And I would say at this point you've probably also cleared the window pretty easily, and you have a very clear view of outside. The sun is still out. You'd probably put it around 5. You got maybe 2 to 2.5 hours left. Yeah.
And I can hear all of the usual hustle and bustle of the city life outside.
Hustle and bustle seems fine.
Oh, which reminds Album, I don't think I've mentioned it to Chelsea or Vessel. He'll turn around again while he's scribbling in his private notebook and he'll say, "Have you experienced a lack of hearing? At one point, I couldn't hear anything outside. It was like I was just stuck in the confines of my mind."
That
No.
was yesterday, right? I think that happened.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
No, I don't think that happened to us.
Maybe your ears just needed to pop as you got like used to the altitude.
We're on the ground floor. What altitude?
We came in from a different state, kind of thing, you know. So like maybe we
I
flew, whatever.
I live and work around here. There's no altitude to adjust to.
I'm
You sound like one of
just
them.
saying.
And he scribbles something in his notebook.
Okay. I like it.
He's like, reptile people are real. I have found one and I'm forced to interact with her.
And we'll say, for sake of convenience at this point, the door opens up and in walks Agent Fawn as well.
Oh, dinner's here.
A little sheepish. Did you bring food for them?
Yeah, apparently I did.
Okay, she's not there yet. She had to stop and get food first. No, I'm just kidding. You brought some food. It's fine. So you have bags of food. So we'll put it at 5:30. You know, you've got about 2 hours left of daylight. Or 5 o'clock. We'll say it's 5 o'clock. It's a Friday. Don't forget. So tomorrow would be the weekend. What do you guys want to do?
Album will kind of thrust the napkin at Vessel and say, like, "You study dead things that no longer are relevant. Does this mean anything to you?"
I'll take a look at it. And she'll kind of look at it and kind of muttering under her breath. She's going to be like, "How was your day, Fawn? What were you up to, Fawn?" And then we'll just like try to read it.
Okay, what languages do you have?
I have Latin and Yugoslavian.
Okay, I'll give you the same roll. Plus 20 on whatever language you've got for Latin.
Okay, so it would be 50, and so then I succeeded.
Okay, you can't tell what exactly it says, but when Chelsea says that it's Spanish, you clarify that you think it's actually Portuguese, and you're confident in that it's Portuguese. Doesn't mean you can interpret it. Just you know the language. Does anybody have craft mechanics, by the way? I think I gave a roll to this for album, but does any of the three of you have it?
No.
Okay.
No, my craft's microelectronics.
Okay. Yeah, but that's all the information you got from this. And then mechanically speaking, he's the only one who's been doing his search rolls for today. You all remember, like, per day, if you're spending time in the apartment digging through the evidence, you eventually can get 2 search rolls, but it requires you to spend time here, and the three of you haven't. So
I have heavy machinery.
no, this is more that's for more operation usage.
Okay.
These are like blueprints, almost engineering schematics type of thing, and so that's why I want the craft.
If we need to bulldoze a building, we will know who to put in the driver's seat.
I like how you have heavy machinery. Like, nice.
Yeah.
Need that a lot in HR?
You gotta bulldoze over at Karen's, I guess.
I guess so. So you've got this little piece. You've got the seal from the day before, that little piece of paper. You had the box that you found as well, Agent Chelsea, when you went back in last night. What's the plan? You got a couple leads for people and such, but what you guys thinking?
I'll spend some time searching with Album here as well, but we have leads to T. Samuel. We have a warrant on him if we want to do it peacefully.
You don't actually have that. You requested one.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, it
On a
hasn't been
Friday.
that long.
Yeah, so it's a question of whether or not it's going to come today or not. Depends on
Fawn
how,
wants
yeah.
to search the apartment. She will kind of fill everybody in on what she learned, and finish up her Chinese takeout. And
That's what I was gonna say. Is that what we got? Oh my
Yes, we
god,
got
we're on the
Chinese
same
takeout.
brave.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Chelsea wants to spend some time translating the Latin text in the book that I found.
Okay. Okay. Again, that's going to take a while to dig through that. So that's going to be something
Yeah.
that you're gonna have to commit several days to really kind of get anything of value from it. But we'll say that from the very least, what you are getting is apparently, and it's the hydromantia. I could be pronouncing it incorrectly. But you're definitely you got the name of an author. Apparently, it's referring to somebody named Solomon. And there's definite references quite frequently to like demons, names of demons, stuff like that. So it's got something to do with like occults, demonology, specifics of which are a little unclear. You would have to again spend a little more time reading through it.
Having the title, can I do an occult roll to see if that means anything to me? Like if I've heard of it anywhere else?
Let's see.
Because I imagine I'm a computer nerd and I do ghost hunting for fun. So I troll like those weird forums on the internet.
You know what? Yeah, go ahead.
Or history if you'd prefer that, or
I think I like occult. Roll the occult one.
okay. Ooh, fail. Can I use one of my 2 rerolls from last week to redo that?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
That's true, GM. How many rerolls do we each have?
Ashley has now got 1. Melissa's got 1. Long, you don't have any. Derek, I think you've got 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's even worse failure. 78.
Okay.
Oh well.
So you learned last time from Album that this was likely written in the 15th century. That's old. You learned from spending a few hours while everyone's looking through stuff, because this is going to take a couple hours at least. You got at least an author by the name of Solomon, and that it contains certain demonic seals and stuff. But yeah, you're not entirely sure the relevance of any of this. You need to spend more time with it.
While we're all sitting around and eating, because I imagine we're kind of like just standing / sitting around the apartment, just discussing things that we've like discovered or found. So Album's gonna be like, he's gonna be laying with his back on the floor and his ass up against the wall and his legs kind of just going up the wall as he's eating, and he's gonna pull out his notebook again, and his conspiracy side is gonna come out, and he's like gonna say to everybody very seriously, "Y'all don't find it strange that there's nobody living on this upper floor, do you?" And he's like scribbling kind of absentmindedly and just like eating a wonton or whatever as he's speaking.
Supposedly everybody says the night manager lives up there, but I broke into all of the rooms and there's no signs of life.
Yeah, we're finding stuff about demonic. We're finding demonic notes, and he's kind of just like scribbling as he's talking. I mean, and he says, but like the ground floor seems to be infested with demonic stuff. The basement level seems to have demonic. Oh wait, did Agent Fawn mention she mentioned the clown drawing to us and that she saw something like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
Did you?
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So then Album will be like, the basement floor has been compromised, the ground floor has been compromised, but not this top floor. Just kind of like muttering like just insane like theories about why that is, and like connections to like the 7 circles of hell, but then it doesn't make much sense because it's the 3rd story building. But then he goes deeper and he's like, what if there are more basement floors? Like, what if we haven't tapped all of the demonic energy in this building?
And you just kind of see Chelsea just like, I'll get back to you on that. I'm gonna keep reading. This Latin's just my brain. Fawn.
That's an interesting theory that we could check out at some point. I'm not sure. And so I'll kind of be thinking just about sort of. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but Fawn will attempt to make you feel better and share some other kind of cockamamie theory of like what it could be, of some like, I mean, while we're just spitballing stuff, I mean, I suppose it could be, and she'll, kind of share some other thing just so that you don't feel.
And Album's just
left
scribbling in
out.
his notebook, like nodding furiously with like, lo mein noodles just flapping around his mouth.
It's going to be one of those like, according to this civilization, they tell stories that blah, 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 blah. It'll sound very, anthropological.
Okay. What?
A third
I
time
really
conversation.
want you to roleplay that, but that's okay. I'm not gonna.
I really want
I really-
Agent Fawn to be like Album's like, it's demons. You got Fawn who's like, nah, bro, it's aliens. Like,
Okay, so while this conversation is going on, Vessel, you've been going through some of the materials. You guys have been eating, chatting, debriefing each other on what you've learned. You're unable to find anything of use. You break down a few odds and ends here and there, but there's nothing that really kind of strikes your interest that just seems peculiar to you. You get a few mundane items off the wall. Was anybody else doing a search roll? Album, you've already done yours for the day, but
I was going to ask real quick, is it possible to use my forensics in any way, the things that I've like cataloged and broken down, or would that not yield any additional information?
there would be nothing. Like, that's the type of thing where, like, as you're going, so the idea of the search roll is basically like you're identifying the things that seem out of place that are worth kind of looking into a little bit further, and so you're able already to kind of passively do that. You're basically getting credit for that as you go.
Gotcha.
So, and then the forensics thing, I think. Oh no, it didn't. No, that was craft mechanics. Excuse me. So Fawn, it was Fawn that failed. Did you, Vessel? Were you searching as well? Did you want to search?
I failed as well.
Okay.
They
So
both
we
crit
both crit
failed.
failed.
okay. So both of you die. No, it's fine. But we'll say that you guys stumble a bit and you break something. You break, like, as you're pulling a piece of pulling something off the walls a bit. You stumble, you break. Both of you lose a point of willpower as it's been a long day. You've asked a lot of people questions, so go ahead and just take a point of willpower for the crit fails.
Album will jump up and kind of like yell at them, like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, I need to catalog this stuff. You need to be careful. This epoxy is not an easy substance to work with. You're setting me back. Stop touching stuff."
Hope you didn't need that.
And so at this point, you guys look and you can see the sun is almost on the horizon. It's been, again, you've been about 2 more hours now between this conversation and eating and doing some more stuff. You're running, so the lights will be gone in a couple minutes, and it's just a question of what's your plans for this evening.
Album will kind of look to the group and ask everybody, like, "So are we working the weekend, or do you all have like lives or whatever it is people do outside of their jobs?"
I definitely think we should stay here throughout the night. Try and see if we can run into the elusive night manager.
Stake out the place. Yeah, I'm done.
That's a good point.
Sounds like fun.
Maybe
Right.
do some more searching.
Okay, so
Take out.
walk me through where people are what people are doing and where they're going tonight while they're hanging out at the apartment.
Album's actually feeling a bit cooped up after cataloging so many things, so he's kind of like, "Yeah, like, I want to talk to some people. I want to get information," but he has like a really like creepy, like socially awkward face, just like the kind that would unsettle anyone.
Well, there's not really too many people to speak to, but supposedly he lives up in the top floor.
Even more
So-
reason to talk to him.
If you wanted to wait around, maybe we'll stake out on different floors and stuff.
And then maybe I'll do in a car on the outside of the building, see if anyone leaves or enters.
Okay.
I would be up for hanging out on the roof.
So then Chelsea will stay actually in the apartment and she'll keep cataloging and listen for Team Manuel.
Okay. So you all put your hands in and do a woe team, and you split up. So Vessel, you go outside, hop in the car, You get a easy, clear vantage point at the front doors of the McAllister building, and you settle in. Chelsea, you begin to start. You get a quick breakdown from Album over what has been cataloged and what hasn't, and like where's a good place to go, and you start kind of digging into the evidence. Then Album, where are you headed?
I would go to the floor that's quote like vacant and
Okay.
just kind of hang out there and wait for the night manager to appear.
Okay.
The second floor.
And then Agent Fawn, where are you going?
The roof.
Okay. All right. So the two of you head upstairs. You leave Chelsea to do her thing, and you see Vessel go outside, and the two of you walk up. As you are walking up the stairs, it's kind of a quiet evening. You don't really hear anything coming from the other apartment that's right next to this one, which is T. Manuel's apartment. You don't hear any kind of shuffling or anything like that. Feels very quiet in there. You go up to the second floor. Again, not really much of anything. Album, you take a seat on the second floor stairs and just kind of look around, look to the left, look to the right down the hallway, look for any signs of movement, and there's nothing down here. There's a very vague kind of faint light from the hall that just sort of comes on. And then Fawn, as you go to open the door that goes up, there's a very narrow, it's almost like a half stair, half ladder that goes up to the roof that Chelsea and Vessel had scouted out the day before. You open the door, and you are hit with a smell of cigar smoke. And both you and Agent Album, you hear like this sudden sound of music, kind of loud, kind of chill jazz that's floating down from the door that you just opened. And when you look inside the door that goes up to the roof, you don't see a roof, Fawn. Instead, you see a fairly large and inviting area that's more reminiscent of like a turn of the 20th century men's club. You see the walls are covered in kind of velvet wallpaper. You see there's overstuffed armchairs of burgundy leather that are scattered across the floor, and that there's a very large and inviting hearth off to one wall. And there looks to be a wet bar in the corner. There's this smell, again, of cigar smoke, and you can see that there is a man sitting down in one of these chairs. One of the walls opposite of the hearth looks to be covered floor to ceiling in what look like bookcases of some kind. Go ahead and the two of you roll sanity.
Okay. Gosh darn it.
Okay.
Can I re-roll that?
Yeah, you can burn your last reroll, so you're done with rerolls.
Okay.
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 Both of you steal yourselves. You're absolutely certain the rooftop should be above here, according to what you know of the building, and according to what Chelsea and Vessel said. They came up, there was a roof. We looked around, but you count on your fingers for a second. Ground floor, first floor, second floor. This is the second floor. That should be the roof. Yeah.
Album, did you roll?
Yeah, he passed. I saw it, I think.
I did, but I don't think it went through.
I thought I saw it.
Okay, I just clicked it again. All right, if a second one comes up, I don't know
Okay.
which one is
That's
the
fine.
first one. But
You're still good. But yeah, you see a man as well. And he is kind of a heavy-set dude. He's got a cigar in his mouth, and he's just kind of sitting there in one of these leather chairs deeper into the room. You can kind of only see him a little bit on an angle. Some of the firelight from the hearth is kind of flickering across his face. He's got kind of a small glass of what might be bourbon or something like that, just sitting on the rim of the chair. And again, that sort of soft sounds of this like early 20th century jazz.
So Fawn will kind of take a step into the room.
Okay.
And she wants to just look down at herself real quick.
Yeah, you look down. You're there. You leave the door open back to the staircase of the second floor.
Okay. Hello there.
I was asking, were you doing that?
Oh yeah, I would.
Yeah,
hold
you
the
just
door
look
open
back and
for
you can
Album.
see there's Album
Yeah.
like right there, like on the stairs from the second floor. And so yeah, you call out, hello there, and he kind of turns and looks, and he's like, well, hey there, and he kind of raises a glass. He's like, how you doing, sweetheart? Just go ahead and fix yourself a drink. He points over towards the wet bar.
I'd, thank you. Fawn, can I get your name?
Name's Rorke. Yeah. Don't be shy. Come on in. It's comfortable.
I see that. I appear to be a bit underdressed for the occasion. Is there a gentleman here by the name of Chastain?
So when you see him, he's wearing like a this blue white light fabric suit. He's got like it's almost like a leisure suit. Like it's called like a seersucker suit. You can tell pretty clearly that he's got a wig, like a toupee thing going on there. That's just sort of sitting up there. And he's kind of like this big bulky frame. But he kind of looks you up and down. He's like, yeah. What was that? What was the name again? What'd you say? I can't hear all the way over there.
And so I'll just say it louder, but I'm keeping my distance still, and I'm kind of looking back to the door, waiting for.
He's
Album to
asking,
come in.
who are you asking about?
Oh, I was asking about Chastain. Casting.
Yeah, what about him? Yeah, I know him. He's night manager of the hotel. Yeah.
Indeed.
And, he kind of leans forward and he's like, he's a Dago.
Care to elaborate?
You would know that that's somewhat of a racial slur for
Italians.
For like.
Oh. My character knows more than I do, personally.
You're just too kind. You don't see race, Melissa.
Well, there's no need for that. Are you expecting him this evening?
What do you mean there's no need for that? What the hell's wrong with you? Just a simple freaking saying.
Everyone has their own sensibilities. And I'll go pour myself a drink of some kind.
Okay. You wander over. You can see that there's plenty of ice, tons of glasses, all sorts of unlabeled liquors and liqueurs, bitters, vermouth, etc. All the various things you would expect to see in a bar: oranges, limes, lemons, all sorts of stuff. You can see on the opposite corner from where the bar is, there's like this walk-in humidor, and you can see kind of through a transparent door, there's a bunch of cigars in cigar boxes in there. You're not too far away from where he is, and then the opposite wall has got that hearth, and then off to the right you can see that there are bookcases. And you can see that there's like kind of a set of doors off to the side that seems to go further away out of this room.
I would like to look for, I'm wondering if any of the side tables near kind of in any of the seating areas have like newspapers.
You look around, you don't see, the only thing you see is the bookcases. It's the only thing you see in terms of reading material.
I'm looking for something that might have the date. So I was trying to see if there was like a newspaper from today.
The only thing you see is for reading materials, the newspapers. Or excuse me, is the bookcases. You don't see any newspapers laying around.
As I sit on the staircase, am I able to hear the conversation between them two?
Yeah, you can hear the music coming out. Smell the
Okay.
smoke.
I'll eventually kind of like quietly make my way up to the doorway and like lean against it and just I haven't said anything yet, but I'm just getting kind of like closer to the situation.
Okay. So he'll like peek over. Oh, come on, the water's fine. What you doing, son? Come on in. Sit on down. This one over here, bit on the temperamental side. I could use some company.
Bit on the temperamental side? Whatever do you mean?
But she's a bit sensitive, is all I'm saying. I think you just muted yourself, Derek.
He'll say she's had a very long day, and he'll kind of like reach for a glass and pour himself some
Okay.
scotch and add a couple of ice cubes. And there was 2 chairs, you said?
Oh, there's leather chairs all over the place in here.
Yeah, so he'll just kind of like sit in the chair and take a sip of the drink.
Okay. All right. We'll pause and we'll shift over to the apartment of Abigail Wright, where you've been kind of working between you've set aside the book at this point and you're starting to search. So you've closed the book up.
Yes.
You're no longer doing any sort of translation things, and you start digging through the materials. As you're doing so, you know that you were kind of sort of warned about this from Agent Album, so maybe it's just your mind playing tricks on you, but you just, everyone's been gone for, not quite an hour at this point, but it just feels like there's eyes on you. You just feel some strange sense. Go ahead and roll sand.
Success.
Yeah, you shake it off and you're like, yeah, it's just your mind. It's just your mind playing tricks on you. It's just stupid album kind of screwing around with you. Go ahead and roll your search.
I did, and I passed with a 13.
Oh, did you?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I see it. Okay. All right, so as you're going through this, you find a picture. That's got the eyes. It's an older couple. Give you a look. It should pop up there. It's a picture of an older couple. The eyes are kind of scribbled out. And you can see that in addition to like the older couple, there's an arm that's like coming from the left side of the image. Like the couple's like posing, they're just normal, etc. And then you see that there's this arm of like a puffy Harlequin costume that's just sort of reaching from the side and just kind of hanging over the shoulder of the woman. When you take a look at the other side of the photo, it reads Thomas and Ellen Wright. And you know that Thomas Wright is specifically Abigail's father, and that Ellen Wright is her mother. Ellen Wright's deceased, however, she died a few years back.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Out on the street, Agent Vessel, you're sitting there. What are you doing while you're out there?
Just observing the surroundings.
Okay. As you're just watching, your alertness is fairly high. You see absolutely nobody coming in or out of the building. No one whatsoever. As you're sitting there, maybe you took some of the food with you or whatever. Your stomach kind of gurgles a bit. You feel really sick all of a sudden.
Oh, gotta go.
And you just immediately begin to vomit. And when you look down at what you vomited up, you can see like the half-chewed remains of like a moldy, gross piece of bread, vague smell of peanut butter. And it just looks like the bread itself is just dark. This dark kind of blue, little chunks of white in it. You don't remember eating anything like this. And as you're staring down on the street side where you just puked out the window, the radio goes on. And you hear this kind of smooth 1920s big band, kind of Glenn Miller jazz just start to come on, with the trumpets and the trombone, the brass sections just kind of moving along, and it's just kind of eerie and relaxing. Roll San.
Failed.
All right, go ahead and go ahead and lose 1 sanity. As your the radio just randomly came on. You ate a perfectly good-looking piece of bread when you ate that peanut butter and jelly sandwich earlier today, but when you look at the remnants that you chewed on and you just threw up right now, it looks disgusting. Looks like the bread has been moldy and gross this whole time.
I'm gonna tweak with the radio to see what set it off.
Okay, you start messing with the radio. You turn it to different channels. The different channels. You're like, okay, I know. Okay, this is a talk radio station. You switch it over, and you hear like the quick blip of like a weather report, and then it quickly switches over to that exact same smooth jazz song. Then you flip it over to which is probably going to be like a Howard Stern station. I think that's 95. I think he was doing stuff, and it switches immediately thereafter into that same kind of smooth. So every time you change the channel, like for a second or two, you get like what you think it's going to be, and then it's just that constantly shifting right back to that song. Roll San.
Oh, I failed again.
Okay, take another point of sanity damage.
All right, I'm just gonna run from the car and run back inside.
Okay. You run back from the car. You run inside. As you get to the steps, you open the door. You walk inside, and then you slip, and you fall, and you land on what looks like a pile of mail. You start looking at it, and it's just like a bunch of like past due notices on bills that had just kind of looks like people delivered some at some point today that no one really paid attention to. And in your haste to run back inside, you didn't really notice it. And there's just past due bills here and there laying on the ground.
Yeah, I'll take a closer look at them then.
Yeah, it's like you see that there's a bill from like utility companies and stuff. A couple of the dates, like you could see multiple copies of them. A few of them are a couple months old. Termination warnings, and then finally like notice of termination, like they turned the water off, turned off the power. Cable company, there's a specific cable company as well. Same thing for like TV and whatnot. Phone company, all these different utility warnings. And where do you go?
Meet up in Abigail's apartment.
So as you're walking over to Abigail's apartment, you hear the door open to T. Manuel's apartment. And you see him like look over towards you really briefly, just like a quick look, doesn't even really recognize you. Closes the door, checks it for a lock, and then just proceeds out the front door momentarily. And then the door closes.
All right. I'll go let Abigail, or not Abigail, Chelsea know that there's a window over here.
Roll an alertness test. I know you have really high alertness, but I still want to roll on this one.
Success.
Okay. You hear very faintly the sounds of that same song that you were playing, that you heard playing on in the car when you were just in there moments ago. Coming from somewhere upstairs.
Kind of freaked out about the song right now,
Okay, so roll sand then.
so I don't want to go near it.
Seriously, roll sand again.
Okay.
You're okay. Taking a deep breath. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so you go over to Abigail's apartment. You open the door. There's Chelsea. You can see that she is staring at a photograph, and she is marking down some notes in the binder that Album had set up for cataloging the various pieces of evidence.
I'll get her attention to signal her over.
Okay. She's not lit. No, yeah. She sees you. It's fine. You take out your gut. No, you're fine. You guys are fine. Okay. We're going to switch back up to this lounge. So, yeah.
Album's just kind of mention as he's sipping his scotch, he's going to say, very peculiar selection of music that you've got playing in here.
What do you mean peculiar? This is just some excellent music. What are you talking about? This is,
I don't mean to insult. I just, where's the Nirvana? Where's the,
Nirvana.
Why this? Yeah.
What are you talking about? What the hell's Nirvana?
It's a grunge band. It's all about fighting the power against the system.
Fighting the power against grunge band? This is a big band, is what this is. Grunge band. Maybe you
album.
did you get a little pregame going before you came in here? How much did you drink?
Oh no, I've actually had a very large meal before I started drinking. This is to help just kind of introduce the weekend. What do you mean big band? Is this new? What is this? An album's just gonna play dumb.
Okay. Big band, like, orchestra and instruments and stuff. You could say he's just, you know what, man? Never mind. And he kind of turns back at this point to Agent Fawn as he's getting a little frustrated talking to you. And he's like, I wasn't sure if I was going to see you again.
She's gonna look down at herself again. Like, is she still dressed like she was before? And is there any type of mirrored surface in the room?
Yeah. I mean, like, there's the
Behind the bar?
Yeah, behind the bar, there's some stuff. Yeah, you're dressed the same. Yeah. He's
Okay,
like,
I'm
yeah,
just making sure.
after you escape the booby hatch and ditch the G-men, guess you find your way to the tunnels and such. But I'm just saying, I was surprised. I didn't think I'd see you again. So, since you found your bottle and all, that's what I'm saying.
I guess I'm lucky that way.
He kind of leans in. He's like, could you show me how to get there? Be nice. For old time's sake, for an old friend.
Maybe later. I think need a little winding down. Maybe it's been a day.
Nah,
Does
that's
Album
not
overhear
something you
this?
say to an old friend. Imposter. You ain't who you say you are. And he just kind of turns back, smokes the cigar, and then takes a drink of the bourbon glass. Go ahead, Album.
So Album overhears the conversation between those two.
Oh, yeah, you guys are all in the same area. Again, it's like a big room. There's the humidor closet with the cigars. There's the wet bar.
Right.
There's the bookcases with all sorts of old books and materials. There's all the chairs. And then looks like doors leading out of here, in addition to the way back into the stairs.
Album will kind of absent-mindedly say, like, I don't remember seeing a sign allowing smoking in this building. And then
Why the hell wouldn't you be able to smoke in the building? The hell's wrong with you, boy?
Health and safety, that
Ain't nothing
cars
wrong with
and
smoking. What's
whatnot.
wrong with you? Good for you. Puts hair in your chest.
While they're having that conversation, Fawn wants to kind of sidle over towards those other doors.
Okay.
Are they doors with windows in them, or doors that you have to like pull open?
It's more like you just kind of pull them open. You look, and it just looks like it's a hallway. And there's a series of doors along the way, each way.
Does the decor matches the room that we're in?
A little bit.
So I'll make a motion to just, basically trying to say, like, you keep him talking, and I'll...
And the Album will kind of just do like a kind of subtle nod and then pick up the bottle of scotch and say, this is, I've had a scotch quite this delicious. What year is this? Where is it
It's
from?
not scotch, it's gee, man. What year is it? I don't know. I mean, look on the damn, it's right there on the bottle. And you look at the bottle, there's no label.
And so Album, getting a little bit testy at this point, kind of like thrusts the bottle toward this gentleman and says,
Hey, watch
the
it.
label's blank. What do you mean? Check the label.
What's your problem here, man?
I'm just saying, like, there's nothing on this.
Well, it ain't my fault. Why are you giving me so much grief? Getting a
Whose
little
fault
tired
is
of
it
your
then?
attitude is what I'm getting a little tired of right now.
I don't mean any disrespect. I just was
Nope, you might
curious
not
as to-
mean it, but you certainly are showing it.
I apologize. How can I make amends with you?
You can make amends by shutting the hell up is what you can do. I'm a little tired of this stuff. Coming in here with your questions and your bluster and your poking around. Ain't you ever been in a
Poking
men's
around?
club before? Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a cigar, sit down, and relax.
What cigar do you recommend? An album will start saying, I've never smoked before, as it doesn't lead to the best health circumstances. So what
Oh,
would
they're
you
all good in
recommend?
there. Doesn't matter.
For a newbie, then, someone who's never done it before, what would you recommend? Come
Newbie?
show me.
What the hell's a newbie?
Someone new to the craft. I'm assuming smoking
Just go
cigars
with
is
the
an art.
damn. Just grab one from a. Come on, man. There's probably Cubans or something in there.
What does that mean?
All right, that's it. I'm done talking to you. And you see him just start to turn the chair a little bit, so he's not like.
Does he turn in the direction of Fawn, or does he turn away from both
He's
of us?
seen Fawn do all the stuff that she's been doing and hasn't
Ah,
seemed to care
Okay.
in the least.
okay.
So when I've gone to the other side of the door, what color is the carpeting that I'm seeing inside and outside?
Some kind of
this room?
like a brownish red.
Okay. So what's in front of me in the hallway?
Okay. So yeah, you look down the hallway and there's just doors to the left and right. It's like this long hallway both ways. You can see at the very end of the hallway kind of turns off to the right, and the other way it looks like there's a T-junction.
I'll start walking down the hall. Am I seeing like room numbers or anything like that? Because he mentioned that this is a hotel.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the rooms the doors are just kind of nondescript and everything. Some of them seem to have like rubbed off numbers, or like they have a placard that was kind of ripped off. Few of them have numbers, some of them don't. Like, it's a little mix of everything.
I'll just kind of put my ear up to the doors. Am I hearing like voices inside or anything?
Okay. Yeah, you listen in, and alertness of what, 20?
20.
Yeah, you don't hear anything.
After I put my ear up to a few and I'm not hearing things, I will just randomly take a door and try to open it.
Okay, take a door, open it, go inside. You see a relatively kind of plain looking, might be a hotel room, looks like. It's got a bed. It's made. There are curtains covering up the windows, a little bathroom right on the inside, and a closet.
Does it look like the room is currently occupied by
You
someone?
don't see any signs of like suitcases or anything like that.
I want to see, like, on the back side of the door, if there's any sort of, like nowadays there'll be like a notice, like on the back of the door for, like a
Mm-hmm.
safety or, some
Sure.
policies or anything like that.
Emergency
Is there
fire
anything
exit,
like
escape
that?
something
plan.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You look on the other side of the door, all you see is a keyhole.
All right. Since that one worked, I'll kind of try opening more doors.
Okay. You step back out into the hallway, and you look back the way you came. In the kind of the archway with the double doors that led back into the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it anymore.
Oh shit.
Let's go back into Abigail Wright's apartment.
Oh.
So, two of you are here. You've just come inside Vessel. You're looking a little worse for wear. You got a little throw up on your collar. What are you two doing?
Don't know how much time we have, but we can. I'm not gonna say it in here because it's bugged, right? So let's motion her out. So you know when.
Okay.
And Chelsea will kind of like look at you puzzled because you've got barf, and she'll be like, okay. She'll put the picture in like a little bag, seal it up, and then follow after you.
And you do remember that the person you saw leaving is T. Manuel. It's Thomas Manuel. I don't know why we keep calling T. We know his name is Thomas. We keep doing that.
Yeah.
But you know that
sounds
his
cool.
is the apartment that had the wire going into, and you just saw him leave.
We're gonna try and breach it.
Oh, okay. And I'll get out my little kit.
Okay. Yeah, you bust out your kit.
You're gonna keep watch. We don't want him to stumble in on me doing this.
Okay. Yeah, give me a roll. Plus 20. Let's say plus 20. He's looking out for you. So, but it's under a little bit of pressure this time because it's actually someone's home as opposed to an empty apartment.
Okay. Which one did you want?
What did we do last time? I totally forget what
We did stealth.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and do that.
Oof.
Okay.
Success.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to. You open the door.
I'll back my way in with her.
Okay. So the two of you go inside.
Should one of us keep watch?
Getting so excited. Sorry.
I have a better alertness search. I don't know if that's useful.
With an 80 alertness, you would probably be able I would say you would be able to hear like the front door opening or voices in the hallway if you were inside the apartment. I would probably give you credit with that.
Okay, then.
If someone was trying to sneak back into their apartment, then probably not. But if it was just like normal movement out in the hallway, you would hear that.
He's got a gun. We're
Also-
fine. We're going in.
I will say you guys are FBI agents and everything.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Okay. All right, so you go inside. And so you did not go inside this apartment earlier today, but you did look inside and you did see that there were a lot of stereo equipment. Kind of a lot. Like he's a painter. You know that he is a painter specifically. But you see no signs in here of any kind of painting equipment. You did learn from him that he does his work in the basement, that the night manager, Mr. Castaigne, has allowed him one of the rooms in the basement to be his workshop. And so you've already been down there, that's what you know, but you do see kind of a lot around here. The room itself, it's fairly austere, unadorned. You don't see art of any kind. There's not just no materials, but there's like nothing hanging on the walls. There's like no paintings, no photographs, anything like that hanging on the walls. It actually kind of looks like a hotel suite, and it certainly doesn't have like a homey feel to it at all. You don't. Okay, and so let's see. You got no like. Checking your stats here really quick. So Agent Chelsea, you notice that not only is there no art on the walls, but you don't see any books. You don't see any magazines. You don't see any published cassettes or CDs, anything like that, anywhere in here. I would say
That's
probably
weird.
out of curiosity. Actually, you guys can just do search rolls if you wanted.
Okay. There's two things. Chelsea would try and first follow the wire to see where it leads to from her room.
Mm-hmm.
And then also look to see, because remember I had like my little audio recorder, see if I can find that among his things with his audio equipment.
Okay. Both of you roll search.
Failed search.
Fail.
Okay. All right.
This isn't a new scene, is it? It's not a new day.
No, it's a new scene. Do you have one? Yeah, you have one left if you want
I
to
have
roll.
one left.
Go ahead.
Even worse.
Okay. You lose yourself. Okay. You do not find any signs of your specific recording device, if that's what you are looking for.
Okay.
It's easy enough for you to find the wire. That doesn't even take a search roll, because you can track it from outside and inside. But you can see that it's connected to a cassette recorder. That's got the microphone wire connects to a cassette recorder that leads out the door and kind of under the rug. So that is easy enough to find. That doesn't even require any sort of specific search.
I'll take it then.
Okay.
Are there any extra like cassette tapes nearby?
No. No, unfortunately, you do not see any. Which
It says-
in and of itself is kind of a curious thing.
Okay. And we're just like in his living room area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go look in his bedroom?
Yeah, you go. Yeah, I'm giving you when I say search roll, that's the whole apartment.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
With the audio equipment, do I recognize anything about it? Like, does he have any audio equipment that's frequently used for ghost hunting? Like, does he think her apartment's like haunted?
No, it just looks like an audio cassette.
Just creepy
recorder.
stuff.
It's just
Okay.
no, it's just a cassette recorder. It's just a plain cassette recorder you would get at a Circuit City because it's 1995 and they had them. They existed.
A circuit what?
Shut up.
Circuit City.
Shut up.
Jerk.
It's where service is state of the art. Back off. Okay.
What else do we want to try and do in the apartment?
Think about that. We'll go back upstairs to Agent Album. You are in this room. There, you've went and got a cigar. You've annoyed this guy. There's other places to sit. The door kind of going out to the floor, like the stairs is still there. Kind of the archway that had the double doors out, which Fawn left. There's the bookcases and everything as well. What do you want to do?
So I can still see the doors where Fawn left through?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Album will just... Because this guy's not helping him out, I'll just kind of pull a random cigar off the shelf and like, you know, like a smoker's first time lighting up something. We'll try to light it and then sit down, try to play it cool and be like, so, yeah, rough day before the weekend. How was work for you? And he's like choking as he's trying to pretend to smoke the cigar.
Yeah, I don't know. The dogs are tired, Door-to-door salesman stuff is a bit hard on the knees, but, I didn't really work today, though. So.
My apologies. I didn't mean to be so rude. Door-to-door sales. What do you sell?
A little of this, a little of that, So, brushes mainly, but I haven't really been in that gig for a bit. I've been moving on to other things, but we'll see. What do you do?
I just kind of measure the world and kind of catalog information. I'm a scientist, basically.
Scientist. Okay. Right on. That's nice. Measure the world. I gotta tell you, son, I ain't ever heard anyone talk like that before. You are a strange one indeed. And he kind of holds his glass out to like kind of clink it for cheers.
And Album will kind of raise his glass and say,
it's more like
it wasn't easy, moving around as much as I did in my youth, so I didn't really pick up the social skills, as it were.
Yeah, I drifted a bit too. Yeah, I hear you.
What caused you to drift? I had parents that were constantly on the move.
Jobs, women folk, usual stuff.
I hear that. How long have you been here?
Oof, I don't know. Can't quite remember when I made it to the hotel, but a little while at least.
Okay. And I forgot to... I had some friends check in for me. I don't really pay attention to much. I'm constantly writing in my notebook. Which hotel are we at right now?
Are you serious? The broad will be in, you freaking ass. You don't even know what hotel you're in. It's a damn building you're in.
And Alvin will kind of like hold up his notebook, which just has incomprehensible scribbles in it. And he's like, yeah, sorry. Like, you understand, like my work constantly keeps me, I have to keep taking notes just to keep things in mind. Otherwise I'll forget it,
Yeah, whatever.
So wait, so it was called the what? The bottle what?
The brothel bin.
Oh, brothel. And does Album know anything like historic? Does that name ring a bell or
No, does
okay.
not.
So he'll jot that down in his notebook and say, um, shit. I don't know what he'll say. Um, he'll kind of like stand up and stretch and say, "Where do these double doors that my friend went through? Where do they go?"
Into the rest of the hotel, man. I don't know. Here, there, everywhere.
Have you talked to anybody else today besides me and my friend?
No, can't say I have. Not today. You know, meet that every now and then. I see that cagey fella from down. You know, the one who's got the the little fingers and such. And then there's the other guy. I like him. I like the way he talks, but not today. Can't say nothing.
Cagey fella with fingers.
He just seems a little sketchy. You know, a little a little nervous. You know, he's got more
Yes,
social skills than you do, at least.
well, can't fault me for trying, right?
No, I can.
Okay, okay then. And Album kind of drawing on blanks, not knowing how to relate to this guy, we'll just kind of raise the glass once more and say, well, I have to go after my friend, so enjoy your evening, I guess.
Okay, you too. Cheers.
And I'll go through the double doors and see if I see Agent
Okay.
Fawn.
Look off to the left. You look off to the right. You see a hallway filled with doors. You see intersections on either end of the hallway. You do not see any sign of Agent Fawn. Speaking of Agent Fawn, I'm going to switch over to her now. Agent Fawn, you're in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You do not see any sign of the doors to go back to the lounge. Roll sand, please.
Why do I keep failing?
Because this game is meant to kill you. Take a point of sanity damage.
All right.
Okay. So, here you are. You just came out of this mundane room. What do you want to do?
I want to go back to the wall where the door should be.
Okay, go back to the wall where the door should be.
Kind of bang on the wall.
Bang on the wall. You absolutely do.
Okay, check that off the list of things.
Okay. Moments after you're done banging on that wall, you hear a sudden and intense sound of chimes that just echoes throughout the area. You can't even pinpoint exactly where it's coming from. And then it immediately fades to nothing and like a little tiny echo. Roll sand.
Chimes as in like wind chimes?
Oh my gosh.
So, do you carry any kind of weapon on you or anything like that? Just kidding. No, you're fine. So as you're starting to freak out a little bit, you turn around and you see like a T section, an intersection just a few feet away, maybe about 10, 15 feet down the hallway. You see a group of people that have just run past. And you can see that they're wearing silver robes. They're wearing white masks. And they're just running from the right side of the intersection to the left and out of sight.
Do the silver robes look like this silver robe that we saw in the box?
Indeed.
Okay. I want to follow them.
Okay. So you head over to the intersection. You look in the direction that they were going, and they're not there. You don't see any signs of them. You just see a long hallway with various doors here and there. Back to Thomas Manuel's apartment. What are the two of you doing? It's been a little time, you know.
So we did our search already, so we can't look for anything. Is that how that works?
It's up to you. Do you want to spend more time here? The searching takes time. So think about, it's not like you search and like it's instantaneous. Like it literally, I'm saying it, you spend an hour looking through. Do you want to risk spending another hour here?
No, it's the tape to the most important part. I guess we do know he's barefoot. I don't know, see if we have shoes or not in this house.
Yeah, you I mean there are a couple. Hang on one sec. Go ahead, just get rid of that person. None of us want to be famous. Okay. Yeah, you can see like some clothes, and you can see shoes. He just doesn't seem to wear them, but they're kind of neatly in a dresser or they're in a closet, out of sight.
Do you want to go keep watch in the hallway, and then if he does come back, cause a commotion so I can get out, and I'll do another search?
Okay, I can like go meet with him in the basement to keep him there.
If he isn't even in the basement. Do you want to go check to see if he's in the basement?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll
Okay.
just leave.
And then I'm gonna commit to spending more time to search.
Okay. Man, you guys are all over the place. All over the place. Okay. So you head downstairs. You go out the front door, down the staircase into the basement vessel, which you know how to get to. You were there before. Your alert's what, 80?
Yeah.
You open the door, and you hear a voice talking from the storeroom that you know is Thomas Manuel's.
I'll be stealthy and try to listen in.
Roll stealth.
Success.
Okay. So you very carefully creep up and look into the storeroom itself. And you can see that there's no one else in there with him. He's talking. And you can see that he's just sort of staring at that empty canvas. And he's just sort of going over something. There doesn't seem to be anyone in there. Doesn't look like he's actually painting currently.
Is he saying anything understandable? Can I hear him?
Yeah, I mean, at this close, you know, you can see that he's kind of going through. It's almost like he's going through lines of something. It's like almost like he's having like he's saying something and then like he says something else, and it's like almost like he's having a conversation here and there. And like you can see that he kind of changes his voice. It's almost like he's playing out lines, like from a script or something like that.
I'll just listen for a bit to see if anything changes.
Okay.
Before I make myself known.
Okay. So yeah, you listen to this for a couple minutes, and it just, he just for some reason. Just checking one thing really quick. Okay. No real change of anything.
I'll make it like a loud clash in the hallway leading down to make him know I'm coming.
Okay. So you knock something over. And then he stops talking.
And I'll head in. Hey, Manuel. Thomas.
He looks up at you. He's like, yeah, who are you? do you want? What are you doing down here?
Oh, we met earlier. We heard you do your night work, so I just want to take a look.
No, I don't think I know you.
What do you mean? I asked you about Abigail earlier.
What about Laura?
Oh, it's just about how she went missing. Remember
Oh no,
that?
she's not missing.
What do you mean she's not missing?
She moved on.
Oh, right. You're still saying that, huh?
What do you mean saying it? She moved on. She figured it out.
Figured what out?
It's different for everybody. Yeah. She figured it out. She can move upstairs with everybody else.
You said what?
She moved on. She figured it out. Okay? She can move upstairs with the others. He's kind of looking at you like you're an idiot for not understanding this.
And are you trying to figure it out?
Yeah, it's different for everybody.
How do you know if you're making progress?
Man, I just said it's different for everybody.
Everybody in this building, or you mean like everybody?
It's different for everybody.
All right.
You can see
What do
he's
you
starting
think
to get mad. Like you can see he's getting, like, his face is starting to like scrunch up. His red color is coming up under his skin. Like he's getting mad.
All right, I get it. I'll stop pestering you about the questions. I just wanted to see what you're doing down there.
I'm working.
It's okay if I watch.
That's really weird, man. I need to concentrate. You're breaking my
Pretend
concentration.
I'm not here.
I can't concentrate when you're here.
All right, I'll back out then.
Okay. All right.
Do you though?
Yeah, this is me in the hallway again.
Okay. Back in his apartment. Roll your search test there, Chelsea.
Damn it.
Okay. You spend more time looking around.
Oh, God.
There's just, yeah, I mean, like, you're going over every inch. And then you hear the sound of a bouncing ball.
Outside?
From in the hallway somewhere.
I would say Chelsea would follow it.
Okay. You open the door. You look out down the window, down the hallway towards where the sound came from.
I make sure I'll like reach inside and lock the door behind me and shut it, and then
Okay.
head upstairs.
You don't hear anything upstairs. You just heard it at the end of the hallway.
Oh, like where Abigail's side is?
Mm-hmm.
I'll start heading over there.
Okay. So you go over to Abigail's. Sure. You open the door. Turn the light on. You see your room is kind of as you left it.
I'm gonna
As
check
is.
the maintenance closet that was next to Abigail's room.
Yeah. You open that up. Nothing's in there.
I'm gonna kind of be weird and just kind of sit down in the middle of the hallway
Okay.
and just listen to see if I hear anything else for a while.
Roll an alert test.
Failure.
You
I'm
listen.
rolling really well today.
Just can't hear anything. All right. Agent Album. You're standing in the double doorway. You've got this guy Rorke behind you. And you can hear the sounds of the music. Look over to the left of the doorway. There's the fireplace. right as the bookcases doors are open. You peek around them. Empty hallway, right and left. You see intersections at either side. A couple doors here and there along the way.
I'll enter to look down the other hallways that I'm not able to see around and see if I can see Agent Fawn.
Okay. Do you care right or left?
I guess I would stand and just look left first and then right if I don't see her.
You can clearly see, like standing in the door, looking to the right and left, you can clearly see down the hallway, and she's not in this hallway. And then there's intersections on either end of the hallway. T-sections that go off in different directions.
Do I see any like elevators or anything like that?
No.
Okay. I guess I would go. So at the end of the left and the right hallways, there's the T. Those are the T intersections, if I'm understanding correctly.
Correct.
I guess I'll go left then.
Okay.
And look down to those intersections.
So you go down a bit. You look to the left. You look to the right, and down the left, you notice something. You notice that there's... Hang on a second. On the wrong page. My bad. Okay. Down the hallway, to your left, about 20 feet away from the intersection, you can see that there is a medical table in the middle of the hallway. And you can see that there is a man. You'd probably peg him maybe his 30s, something like that. And it's an otherwise normal hallway, but he seems to be on top of the table, and you can hear like faint mumbling, but you can't discern exactly what he's saying.
I guess I would slowly step in his direction and then call out, "Excuse me, sir," and see if that catches his attention.
What? And he starts screaming at that point, like, hello?
And Album will kind of like put his hands up and say, "It's okay. I'm looking for a friend of mine. It's okay. I don't want to hurt you."
I need help. I'm vague. Can you help?
What's wrong? And Album will kind of like rush
and
over.
You look, and he is restrained and like stuck down. Like he's restrained on the tables. There's these like complex like mechanical and like leather straps keeping him stuck down onto the table. He's got what looks like a patient gown on, and he's just like screaming. And
Album will kind of like hold out his bourbon to the guy and say, "Here, drink this. It'll help you calm down."
The fuck is wrong with you? And he kind of like knocks it off to the side as I knock my earpiece out. A moment later, the floor beneath opens up, and you can see the entire table begins to slowly retract into the floor. And he's just like shaking left and right. You and your fucking... Are you kidding me? As he's slowly being sucked down into the floor.
Album, without kind of thinking, will go to undo. So I'm assuming this is like a belt buckle type leather strap where I can like unhinge it.
There's a bunch of them, like in his legs and his arms, and you like start fumbling with it. And he's like, come on. And as you're doing it, like you just can't get them all undone in time. Like there's just so many, and then like you open up one, you slide the thing, then the tongue of the buckle gets caught, and then the strap, and then there's a button that you didn't even realize there was a button, and then there was a chain.
Yeah.
And
I guess as I watch him descend below the floor, I'll ask, "Who put you here?"
And he doesn't seem to answer as he disappears into darkness below. And as you're looking down in the direction that he just went, you see a distant, pale face with empty eye sockets looking back at you from an impossible distance. Roll sand, please.
Ugh, failed. Do I recognize this face at all from any pictures or anything I've seen?
Nope. You're going to take 2 points of sanity damage.
Yikes. Okay.
All right. We're going to switch over. Agent Fawn, what are you doing? You're in the hallway still.
So I saw everybody in the robes. I tried to chase after them. They went around the corner and they were gone.
That is correct.
All right. I want to... I'm trying to be organized about this. So I'm going to go back again to where the double doors should have been.
Okay.
Are there double doors back?
Roll a sanity test.
Gosh darn it. This is going to go poorly. Where did it go? Oh yeah, I succeeded.
Mm-hmm. You do not see any.
Okay, then whichever direction I went to chase after the silver-robed figures, I'll go with the other direction.
Okay. You go and you hang a right.
Okay.
And as you're walking down a this hallway, you see or you hear like this vague sound coming from the walls, and it sounds like some fairly vigorous lovemaking happening in one of the rooms in the hallway.
All right.
Sorry, vigorous in what way?
Vigorous. The frequency, the grunting, yelps.
Headboard.
Yes,
You know.
exactly.
You know what? This is the first. Well, I'll listen in the room next door and see if there's any sounds coming from the room next door to that.
Okay. You go inside the other room.
Okay.
You listen in, and
Okay.
yeah, you hear the same sounds of lovemaking, just a little bit louder.
Does there look like there's any occupants in this room?
No, this room is completely empty. You see it's like there's no bed, there's no table, there's no dresser, just completely empty. And there's like a curtain on the wall covering the window, and there's a fan on the ceiling that's not turning.
Okay. And so Fawn's gonna think about the fact that there were the robed figures and then they disappeared, so she's gonna quietly open the door.
You're going to go back out, and you're going to open the door?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. You open the door, and there's no one in the room. It's a hotel room, and you can see that there is a bed in the center of it. It's covered in blood and in shards of chromed metal. There is an old-looking syringe and a cook kit for heroin that sit on a side table. There are also 2 shotguns that are tucked beneath a bedspread that's been thrown on the floor. And there's a Valis, this little container, filled with $150,000 in D-Series 1933 bills that are all covered in blood. There is, again, no one in the room, but the words, "Where is my bottle?" are written on the wall in an unidentifiable blue-black ichor. I need you to roll sanity, please.
Uh-huh. I succeeded.
Okay.
What happens if I try to pick up the Valis?
You now have a Valis in your hands?
Okay, just checking. It's weird. Just want to make sure.
Actually, you didn't have any ichor in a book anywhere. I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, maybe not ichor, but the Latin book that I was translating, there were notes in blue ink in the margins.
Yeah, that's different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not quite the same. Got it.
That was like ballpoint pen type of stuff.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
So-
take the
so you-
I'll take the money.
Sure.
I knew Agent Fawn was in it for the money.
Anything else you want to do?
I will carefully pick up the guns, kind of do the pen through the
They're
Um,
shotguns.
Oh, never mind.
Write a message on the wall.
I don't think that's what would come to her mind to do. So you said there's guns, there's some chrome, there's some drug stuff on the counter.
The bed is covered in blood and in shards of chromed metal. There's an old-looking syringe and cook kit for heroin that's on the side table. There's 2 shotguns that are tucked beneath a bedspread that's been thrown on the floor, with the valise filled with $150,000 in D-Series 1933 bills covered in blood. And there's the words, "Where is my bottle?" written on the wall.
Check the bathroom. Is there anything in the bathroom?
You go into the bathroom. Doesn't seem to be anything in here. A little dirty, but that's about it.
Okay. Check the drawers.
Yeah, you go through. It's the only stuff in here.
Okay.
You go through the drawers, the dresser. There's nothing in here. Open up the closet. Go into the bedroom. That's about it. There's a ceiling fan. It's not on. Curtains covering the window.
I do want to look out the window.
Okay. So you go ahead and you pull the curtains back. And when you do, instead of the outside world, the window shows an impossible view of an endless expanse of rooms. So the window, as you open it up, is looking into a living room. And in that living room, there is another window that opens up onto a dining room. And in that dining room, there is another window that opens up to a lounge, and then a bedroom, and so on. And you never see the outdoors. I need you to roll sand.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Succeed.
You're holding it together. All right. Think about it. I'm going to switch back.
Okay.
All right. Vessel, you've been listening to him. He hasn't really been talking as much. You kind of get the sense that he thinks you're still here. What do you want to do?
It's fine. I just gotta hang out until Chelsea's done.
Okay. Chelsea, you're sitting in the middle of a hallway. What would you like to do?
Do I hear anything else?
Nope,
I've been here.
We already did your alert. Your alert's pretty low by passive, so no, you don't really hear
Okay.
anything.
So then, I'll probably head outside to see if I can find Agent Vessel.
Okay. Easily done. So
And,
you open the basement door, and you can see that he's kind of crouched next to the opening to the workroom where Thomas Manuel is working.
I assume as I open it, like it lets in some moonlight or something.
Nope.
No. Okay, then I'm
No,
just gonna
there's
go
a
in.
light inside. Like there's lights inside. There's like little
Okay.
incandescent bulbs with chains that have.
Chelsea's just gonna go right in
Okay.
and walk up to Agent Vessel and
Okay.
just kind of like tap him on the back.
Roll sanity. No, you're fine. Alertness of 80. You're good. Okay.
Let's get out of here.
And I'll head right back up to Abigail's room.
Okay. So you go upstairs. You go into Abigail's room. Vessel, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll just let her know how the confrontation went. He was a little hostile, but he said Abigail's not missing and she's upstairs.
There's nothing upstairs. What do you mean?
Just saying how it is. He wouldn't give me any more. Just like how everything else is upstairs.
This place is so weird. Do you still have that tape?
Yeah.
I want to rewind it and then spend some time listening to the tape.
Which tape is this that you're listening to?
The cassette that we removed.
Oh, from Manuel's apartment.
Yeah.
Okay. Posture check, by the way. Gabe said we have to sit up because he's being our mom.
I'm
Have to eat our
starting to hunch
vegetables,
over
too.
like a goblin. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, just checking something. You guys are all over the place, so I have to like go here to here to here. Like I have notes. It's just they're just all like, yeah.
We don't travel in a
No, it's totally fine. I think it makes sense that you'd split up and do certain things.
until we get lost and the doors disappear for the re-entrance. No troubles. No problems there at all.
I still think you should write on the wall. Agent Fawn has done weird stuff. You guys play nice now. I'll leave cookies on the table.
Keep filling. I'm looking for this.
Like, where's the bottle? I just want to put like in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
right here.
I got something. As you're listening, it honestly just sounds like a nearly empty apartment building hallway at night. That's it, like ambient sounds.
Is the cassette Is the cassette tape labeled at all?
Nope.
Okay. At this point, I think Chelsea would just kind of give up and just like look at Agent Vessel like, we tried, and just go back to searching.
Okay. I think you both get one more because I think you both have rolled one.
Yeah.
So go ahead. If that's what you're doing, go ahead and roll your search.
And so the entire tape was just there.
It was just either, yeah. I mean, you could play it in the background while you're doing stuff if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you want to roll a search, but you can do something else too if you want. Yeah.
Oh, I already searched.
Okay.
Yeah. We both failed.
All right. Go upstairs then to Agent Album. You just saw the floor open up. A man in a patient outfit on a hospital platform, like, gets sucked down into the floor, and then a creepy white face in the distance, and then the floor closed up. What would you like to do?
Album would like to move back toward the double doors that led into the lounge where Rorke was.
Okay. You head back. You turn down the T section, and you no longer see those doors heading back to where Rorke was.
Okay. Is there just blank wall in the space where that door was?
Yeah, it's just like walls and doors and walls and doors and walls and doors.
Okay. Then he'll go down to the other intersection that he did not explore. So I guess that would be the right side, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you head down. You head down the hall, and as you do, you
I don't like the smile.
Sorry. There's just so many things I could do right now to just completely fuck with you. It's just wonderful.
Oh dear.
Okay. You look down. It's a mostly empty hallway, except you see that as you're looking down it, there's this fairly long crack in the plaster between the ceiling and the wall.
If it's noticeable enough that I see it from the intersection, I'll walk toward it and try to inspect it more.
Okay. So you kind of get up on your tippy toes, get a poke around a bit, and as you do, the entire hallway falls away like a house of cards, revealing that you are suddenly standing on a stage. And you look behind you and you just see the other side of the hallway and then the door that's just a series of plywood backdrops. There's an audience that extends out in front of you that are hundreds of human-sized marionettes, and they are staring mutely at the stage, and their strings are running upwards into the dark above.
Sand roll?
Album's just gonna kind of look out at everybody and just like deer in the headlights, just not gonna like move. Just gonna like watch for any signs of movement.
Okay. And they stare mutely back at you. You look
So
around
is there like
you.
a
Go ahead.
is there a spotlight on me then?
You look up, and above you, it's just sort of darkness above you.
Okay.
You can see off to your left, there's like standouts of like, there's like what looks like a door, but you can tell it's just a plywood backdrop. You can look on the ground, there's a few like plywood backdrops that have fallen and are now laying flat on the ground.
Yeah.
And you're kind of elevated because you're on a stage. You can see that you're on a stage. There's like stairs that go off, and you can see that the curtains on either side, and like it kind of goes off into darkness to the right and to the left.
Yeah, not wanting to be the center of attention, Album's gonna try and go off stage behind the curtain, I guess on the left.
As you leave the stage, you notice as the marionettes all suddenly get up, and then they begin to file out and disperse from the theater. I need you to roll sand.
Of course. I did not make it.
Okay.
I don't like the way you're saying okay.
Take 3 points of sanity damage.
All right. Ooh, I'm getting close to my breaking point.
Don't forget that you can always shift your stuff. Like I think
And
Melissa had to
willpower.
do.
Yeah, you can spend willpower instead of taking the sanity damage, but you have to pull an equal amount from a bond.
And that was from the unnatural, so you don't get to check anything. Melissa, yours, the last one, was from violence. You actually can do a check mark towards violence if you didn't go insane. Or if you didn't have a
I did
breaking
not.
point. Yeah.
I did not.
Okay. And we'll shift over to Agent Fawn. You are in this room. You can see out the window into another room,
Mm-hmm.
and then into another. And you can see that on the wall, it's "Where's my bottle?" And there's the other items that we've already discussed in here.
I want to go to the room next door and look out that window.
Okay. You step out into the hallway. And as you do, you hear singing in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Like a soft little girl's voice.
First I want to look out the other window.
You see the same thing.
Damn it.
Roll
Okay.
another sand.
Yeah. That's a fail.
Take a point of sanity damage from the unnatural. Step back out into the hallway, and you still hear that singing.
No, I will investigate the singing.
You think it's coming to your left, so you wander down the hall. Turn a corner, and you see kind of this open set of double doors. And you move up to the entrance, and you can see that is a large, empty dance hall. And in the middle of the dance hall, there is a little girl that seems to be dancing to a song that seems to be coming from an unknown source. As you're watching, you can see that she's covered in a white gauze-like material, which seems to obscure her features her skin, her face, her hands. And it seems to loop round and round. And she's singing in kind of an alien tongue. You can't discern specifically what it is she's saying. And you see her just spinning around. Spinning around.
For the music, since I recently heard music that sounded like big band-ish, for the music that's playing here.
You don't see a source of it.
Okay. Does it sound like dated in any way? Like jazz or big band or rock or any...
You can't place it.
Okay.
It just seems strange, alien. It seems foreign to you in some way.
I'm going to step back out the double doors and step back in again.
Okay. Nothing happened. Nothing changed.
Just... Okay. Fawn will be brave and go towards the girl.
Okay, you move up towards her, and she's still dancing. She doesn't seem to react to you moving any closer.
I'm assuming there's no one else in here.
You look around and you don't see anything. It's a big old empty dance hall.
I'm gonna try to start like whistling to the music. Like I'll be a half beat behind, but I'm just gonna try to like make my presence known non-threateningly. So I'll kind of try to match the music.
Okay.
Does anything change in the music or her behavior?
No, she doesn't seem to react to you. And when you sing, it doesn't seem to have an effect. The music, her singing seems to continue. And again, the whistling you do, you try to keep up, but like there's beats that are different, right? It doesn't follow sort of common musical theory. It's just kind of a peculiar arrangement. It doesn't sound like a cacophony of sounds. It sounds, carefully orchestrated and such, but it's just different. And her singing soft, and the voice is just weird, peculiar, something a little unsettling. But yeah, she doesn't seem to respond, and she's just continuing to kind of dance around you, looping here and there.
I'll keep getting closer.
She still doesn't seem to respond.
If I get close enough, like, would I be able to touch the fabric or touch her first?
You don't see any signs of her skin. The fabric is covering like everything. You don't see her skin. You don't see her hands, her face, anything like that.
Okay. Can I try to just reach out and just touch some of the gauzy material?
As you reach out and touch her, she suddenly collapses. You hear like a scattering of metal as 1,000 clockwork pieces just scatter around the ground. Gears, wires, brackets, in all sorts of directions. It's just a cacophony of it. The music stops. I need you to roll sand.
Shit.
Roll a d4.
It's gonna do it.
Don't forget, you can push it off. That's one. Take 1 point of sand. You can always push it off if you need to.
Yeah, I need to.
Okay.
So I make myself a note to do that later.
As you look at the parts that are scattered around the ground, you notice like a maker's mark. It's like a small engraving. It says G. Castaigne in fancy looping script that's stamped on every single piece, along with FR period 1435. And I think we're going to stop there for tonight.
I broke the singing child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, listen, it's the second time you
What?
caused us to end.
Yeah. Felt like a good symmetrical piece. We're a quarter after. It's 2 hours 15. You guys got into it tonight. Woo!
Oh,
Oh, it's so
There's
exciting.
so much
right
You,
now.
you guys have no
So
idea.
many
I've been
sanity
prepping.
rolls.
I'm genuinely so lost. There's so much going on that just
Awesome.
doesn't add up.
Oh my goodness.
I have read everything.
Does anybody have any theories? Derek has his 7 levels of hell.
Yeah, that's basically the best I can do.
Okay. I hope you guys have been keeping track of the skills that you failed, so that you could do your rolls. We'll do that off air. Let me go ahead and plug a few things. So tomorrow night, Ashley, where are you playing and what are you doing?
I am going to be playing some Umerica on the Goodman Games official Twitch channel.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's 9 Central is when you're playing.
9 Central, yeah. And we finished the funnel last week, and so we're actually going to be out in the crazy, weird Gonzo open world.
Okay, right on. On Monday, right on this channel, Lollygaggers, you can find Melissa and I as we're continuing our Alien campaign. We just started up a brand new chapter, so it's a great time to catch up. And if you want, you can always go back and take a look at our YouTube channel for past episodes. The other ongoing game that we have going is on the Free League Publishing channel, which is on alternate Mondays, where we're playing Things from the Flood, another 90s game, 1992, where we play some emo teens in a weird desert Twin Peaks-like town. It's pretty fun. And next week, hopefully, we'll be back on Friday again for more Delta Green. If you want to follow me on Twitter, at LollygaggerCO. If anything changes with the schedule, I post it there, so it's the best place to find it. For everybody who hung out and talked tonight, thank you. Appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you checking out what we're doing here. Delta Green's a really, really fun game. Hopefully, those of you who are avid fans are finding this a reasonable play, and that you're enjoying it.
I feel like everyone's laughing at the things that we don't know yet.
This is kind of
Yeah.
It's just.
They're like, why are they so focused on that?
No. You guys are doing fun stuff. You guys don't second guess anything you guys have been doing. It's just, do your thing, do what you think is right, and we'll find a story from it, and it'll be fun. But that's about it. So we're gonna go ahead and give our friends the Defenders a raid here really quick, because they're over there playing Alien, which is a great game as well. So thank you for those of you still in the channel, and we'll see you next week. I'm gonna put us on the end screen, and then we'll do the raid. So
Nice.
See
good
ya.
night, folks.
Good night.